Are you thinking of extending your home? Maybe an extension, a loft conversion, a porch out the front? You might just be able to do it under something called permitted development. Permitted development is a right as a homeowner in the UK for you to do certain things without having to go through the planning permission. What I mean by that is things like rear extensions, loft conversions, garage conversions, and porches. Now there's a few areas which permitted development doesn't affect. If you're in a listed building, if you're in a conservation area, or there's a covenant against your house saying the permitted development rights have been waived. Now sometimes when the developer was negotiating with the council, they would forfeit the rights on those properties for permitted development rights. It's worth checking if you're in a newer development as to what the rights are. We've seen it before where we've gone to do a really simple garage conversion on a house, and unfortunately the developer had waived the rights to PD and we had to apply for planning. It was a really simple process, but we still had to go through it. So now that we've covered the basics, let's jump into how you guys can use it on your own home. So let's start with rear extensions. And for the purpose of this, we're going to talk about a single story rear extension. 3 different types of houses have 3 different requirements: detached, semi-detached, and a terrace house. Detached houses can come off the back 4 meters off the rear elevation and the full width of the property. There is a height limit on all of these of 3 meters. In a semi-detached, you can come off the back of your house 3 meters, full width of the house, again, same height limit. And in a terraced house, you can come off the back 3 meters. There is a way you can go slightly bigger than that. You can actually go up to 8 meters. As soon as you go over 4 meters though, it triggers something called Neighbourhood Consultation. Now this means where you have to submit to the council that you'd like to go bigger than that, and they do an off-the-record conversation with your neighbours about whether they'll be okay with it. Things that are taken into consideration are things like the use of light, what the outlook is, and privacy. There is a proviso that you have to leave at least 50% or more of land towards the back of your new rear extension. So the only catch to this is you have to use similar building materials on your project. So if the house is made of red brick like this one is, that means your extension has to also be made of red bricks. If it's got a slate roof, then and you decide to put a pitch roof on your extension, the roof then also has to be slate. Let's move on to loft conversions, one of my favorites. A loft conversion is taking the unusable space in the attic or loft of your house and converting it into a usable space. Now there's a few limitations. Any dormer has to be to the rear of the property. Now what a dormer is taking the pitch of the roof and squaring it up to make it usable so that you can stand up in there. There are limitations on this. For a detached and semi-detached house, you're only allowed to add 50 cubic meters into your space. For a terraced house, you're only allowed to add 40 cubic meters worth of space. Again, the roofing material used needs to be similar, and the dormer material used needs to be similar to the existing house as well. It's really important to remember that you're not allowed to raise the ridge of your home without planning permission. So in order to stay under permitted development, the ridge height needs to stay the same. It's probably worthwhile noting now as well that if you're thinking about a loft conversion in your house, the measurement from the ceiling or the floor to the ridge is really important. If you don't have enough height here, it may not be possible for your house to have a loft conversion. First thing I would check if you're interested in doing that. As much as we'd all love to have a balcony or veranda off our new loft conversion, unfortunately under permitted development, this isn't allowed. The only real other limitation that you've got on your loft conversion is that the dormer edge needs to sit a minimum of 200 millimeters off the edge of the eaves of the original house. If you're interested in watching what the process looks like on a full dormer loft conversion, have a look up here. This is one that we're going to be completing over the next few weeks. So, porches. I'm sure that many people have wondered if they can add a porch under permitted development, and the short answer is yes. This is the only one that can be added under PD on the front elevation of your property. There's a few catches. It has to be 2 meters off the boundary of the house, and it's only allowed to be 3 square meters in floor area. A nice simple one. Let's keep going. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel for more information like this. Let's talk about garage conversions. Since COVID changed the whole world, it really changed how we work. One of the biggest increases we've had is garage conversions. They're a great way to turn storage space into usable space. These can be done under permitted development, providing you meet a few criteria. The garage has to be connected to the house, the materials need to be the same, like for like, and you can't make your garage any bigger than what it already is. Now that we've covered things that you can do under permitted development, let's run through some things that you can't. So, you can't do anything on the front of your house with the exclusion of a small porch. You can't do anything if your building is listed. You can't use permitted development. If you're in a conservation zone or area of natural beauty, you have to go through planning permission. If there is a covenant on potentially a newer development, and if you plan on extending further than the guidelines that we've already discussed. And I guess the only other thing that we should mention is if you're planning major renovations to your house, maybe it's affecting the street frontage, that's definitely going to require planning. If you've got any questions, it's best to touch base with your local planning authority. Hopefully, this has saved you a bit of hassle, and that there might be some information that's going to prevent you from having to go through planning permission when maybe you don't need to. If you've enjoyed it, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.